So this is how serious what we're talking about is. And this is what takes you right into this other page, what I think is really critical, and I want you guys to really pay attention to this piece. This is what I call your Google real estate. When someone does a search on your company, and as an example, here's our company, 1-800-ANYTIME, Google makes a suggestion. They say, hey, why don't you check out their reviews? Number 2, reviews. So Google say, hey, Mr. Customer, you want to consider looking at their reviews as a first suggestion. Based on that, if a customer is considering buying from me and I got bad reviews, what could happen? I could lose the call, right? Now here's a customer you don't want to be like. This poor guy's got 2 rip-off reports at the very top of his page. When you type in his company name, Google pulls up rip-off report twice. And nothing else that offsets that rip-off report. That's obviously going to earn you low call counts. Now, the alternative, you have a customer, in fact, this guy's only like 3 or 4 trucks, but yet he's got great reviews, and we're proud to say he's a client of ours, Climatech. They're a small HVAC company out of North Carolina. And you can see that they got gold stars across their first page, which makes it very easy for your customer to consider giving you guys a try.
Those gold stars, are those due to the reviews coming through?
Yeah, the review sites typically, well, Google's changed their gold star thing. When they bought a company called Zagat, so now they don't have the gold stars, but I don't want to get into that because that's a whole other conversation. But they have a scoring system that's different than the gold stars. But every other review site has stars, like Yahoo and Bing and Yelp, of course. So if you go back, Google used to have stars. That was their star rating before they bought Zagat. And then City Search has stars. Almost every single review site has stars, except for Google and Facebook. So turning your customers into promoters, if you can accomplish that, you're never going to have to worry about your competition again. No doubt, without a question, your customers are your biggest ally and helping you get more business. So real quick, I'm going to just kind of give you a little visual here. I want you guys to imagine your website as this little board. Okay, this is a little dartboard, and your customer is that little fuzzy ball. And the goal here is to get your customers to stick on your website, to stick on your web properties. If you don't have reviews, which is your customers telling good experiences, this is what I call your actual Velcro. This is going to end up causing your customers to bounce off your site. I'm just giving you this as an actual visual so you guys can totally really just kind of take it in. This is how basic it is. People come to your site, they bounce off because they don't see something that gives you credibility. If you have your site pasted with positive reviews, or you have positive things being said about you, it's going to help your customers stick to you and more likely turn into a phone call. So beyond Google, just to give you guys a deeper understanding of what Google's doing, what the other things are going on, Bing has just recently worked with a deal with Facebook, where when you do a search on Bing, your Facebook friends can actually have influence on what shows up. So if your network of friends don't like a certain individual company, that could show up in the search result. So you can see the power of how search engine optimization is starting to merge with social media because it's giving you more relevancy. Consumers want this information. That's why Bing's trying to create a better and an improved search result. I know a lot of you probably hate Yelp. I'm not a huge fan of them myself. They're like the modern day mafia. They'll break your windows and they'll ask you to come pay you to replace them at a minimal fee. But Bing is actually using Facebook to drive their local search. Not only that, but on your Siri, who has iPhones here? How many iPhones we have? So on your Siri, it's actually powered by, yes? Yelp. So being highly rated on Yelp is really, really important. And if you have any challenges with Yelp, come talk to me. I got some pretty good little techniques that could really help you. In fact, one thing I'll tell you that you don't want to do, a quick story of a client that told me this. Actually, it was a client. It was one of our my speaking engagements. He was in the audience talking about it. What he was doing is he's getting really frustrated with his Yelp account. And he was like, yeah, there's one customer, they don't even have any friends, or they're not really even connected. They're not even really a true Yelper. And I'm asking him, so what's going on with this bad review? And he's telling me every day he goes in the morning to see what's going on with it, and he clicks on it, and he clicks on it, and he reads it, opens it to see if it's getting filtered or not filtered. So what he's doing is he's making this review more what?
Relevant.
More relevant. So he's creating that negative review. have more weight, therefore it stays at the very top of his negative review results. So if you have a negative review on Yelp, and you want to take a look at it on a regular basis, just don't be clicking all over it. Just take a look at it, but don't click all through it. You can respond naturally, but only respond that one time. Otherwise, again, you're going to make it more relevant. And according to Harvard, a one-star increase on Yelp can increase your business by 5 to 9% in revenue. So Yelp is the 800-pound gorilla. There's no one who's competing with Yelp right now on the review front. Google's trying. They're not nearly as successful. In case you guys didn't know, Google tried to buy them for almost $500 million about a few years ago, and Yelp turned them down. So there's no doubt that Yelp is a review site that you have to get serious about. And again, if you have any challenge with Yelp, come talk to me. I'll try to give you as much help and guidance as I can. One thing I'll tell you, just so that everyone gets this one piece, put a unique number on Yelp. That way when you get the incoming call that comes through, you know it's a true Yelper, and you need to send out your absolute best for that call, because if you don't, that Yelper could cause some damage to your business. So that's one little bit of information. Any questions?
You don't need to worry about having the net be different on Yelp than it is.
You know, that's controversial right now. I mean, Google created this thing called NAV, name, address, phone number. They want you to have consistency across the web. And I'm actually working on that right now myself in my own company, because I use call tracking, and a lot of you guys do probably as well. It's not necessarily as Google's lots of times they'll attempt to do things like that, and then they'll pull back. So I highly recommend that you have as many of your addresses consistent. That's for sure. As far as your name's consistent as well. Phone numbers, that's kind of up for debate still. But I would definitely focus on your name to be consistent and your address to be consistent. Anyone who used P.O. boxes like I tried back in the day with many little websites, that doesn't work anymore. So microsites don't really do what they were intended to do.
Are you allowed to reward your customers for for actually taking the time to put a review on?
I'll get into that. The answer is no. I have at the end of this slide, I was going to show you 3 don'ts, and that's one of the don'ts. According to Google's terms, they don't want you incentivizing the customer, and at all. But we're going to get into the ultimate incentive. That's not giving the customer any money, and we'll get into that in a minute. So, but thanks for that question. So, pop quiz. What is your most valuable asset? And I'm going to give away another one of these books.
Resources.
What's that?
Your reputation.
Your reputation. What else? What's your most valuable asset?
Technician.
I heard people from somewhere. Huh? Oh, you got one? Who else said people? I think I heard people from two different places. Oh, it's people. So who else said it? Anybody else sell people? All right, good. So yeah, without a question, your people. Thank you. Your people are essentially your product. When you look at product reviews, you're looking at product reviews because you want to know what am I going to get? And when you think about our business, our service business, what really matters to our customers is who we put in front of them. Who we send out to them is basically, that makes all the difference in the world. So when you recognize that your people are absolutely, without a question, the most valuable part of your business success, especially when it comes to customer service, that's really what we're talking about here. And that's really this is the incentive you're giving your customer. When you make it about the people, your customers want to help them. I mean, there's not an industry I can think of outside of the HVAC and plumbing that's more valuable in electrical than what we do. I mean, if you're in a heating business, typically you're going out there the same day and you're resolving someone's discomfort. They have no heat or they have no air conditioning. How grateful are they that you showed up within the same day? A cable company doesn't do that. How grateful they are when you show up and say they have no hot water. They're really grateful. Or no power. The whole house is out of power, or half the house is out of power. So we have a unique opportunity because we show up the same day, usually within hours of the phone call. And if your guy does it right, that customer's going to want to help and reward him. And that's the incentive. It's not about the company, it's about the individual person. In fact, how we typically suggest you ask for the review in the requesting process is you tell the customer at the end of the call, your technician does this actually, Mrs. Jones, would you mind doing me a small favor? Hands him a little review buzz card. Would you mind going online? It would mean the world to me. And just share your thoughts, good or bad. I love to get your feedback. I take my career very seriously. And my boss will find out about it. And frankly, I'll get more business because of you. So if you could help me out with that small favor, it takes 5 minutes, that will really mean the world to me. That's the only incentive you need to give them, honestly. is just give them that, hey, I can really use your help. And it's not about the company, because I've seen guys do it the other way where they say, hey, would you mind helping my company out? We're trying to get more reviews. It really would help our business. Unfortunately, that's not nearly as powerful and nearly as engaging as the guy that's in the attic, the guy that's under the house, the guy that's dealing with your problem and taking good care of you along the way. That remarkable experience is going to make them want to reward that person and take the time to go online and write that review publicly. Because a lot of times, you want these guys to write reviews for you on public review sites. The more influential the review site, the better it is for your business. If they write a review for you on Facebook, that's going to be a lot more powerful than it would be if it be on some random site that no one knows about. So getting your customer to go on Facebook and tell their entire network, you did something really extraordinary. And that's really the name of the game, is creating that remarkable, remarkable experience. We did it on time. Doing good.
Can a review be made by cell phone?
By cell phone?
Yeah, internet.
With our system right now, we actually are working on a mobile piece to it. But yes, and that's actually going to be done in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll have a mobile version of the system. And you can still do it. This is a little more, it's not as easy because our system is driven by video to help that customers write the reviews. But we actually have a new portal that we're actually going to be introducing that's going to give you the mobile option, which is really going to be powerful. And you talk about authenticity, because that's the real thing that we're talking about. Mobile is the most authentic thing you can pretty much do. Because if it comes from a mobile device, you're not going to really typically have someone doing a bunch of reviews on hundreds of different reviews on fake through a mobile device. So mobile is definitely going to be something really powerful. So I'm going to do a little table topic. So we all know that your most valuable asset are your people. That's nothing that crazy new. But let's talk about what is it that we can do that creates that remarkable experience? What does he maybe already do right now that creates that remarkable experience? And share with one another. And again, we're going to do a table leader, and the table leader will be the person with the biggest watch. All right, so whoever has a big fat watch that word today, they're going to be the table leader, and they're going to share with us from your table the best ideas about how they create that remarkable experience. right, let's bring it back. Table leaders, please rise. Stand up. We're all going to rise. All right.